is a bit of a looker. This is a nicely styled machine. This is a 2019 Maserati Ghibli SQ4 GranSport. There are two Ghibli trims these days. You get a GranSport or a Gran Lusso. Gran Lusso is a bit more luxury. GranSport is a bit more sport. GranSport. But what is the Ghibli before you worry about which Gran you want? Well, the Ghibli is essentially Maserati's entry-level executive sports sedan. It sits below the Quattroporte. It shares a platform with that slightly larger car as well. This is a chopped-down version of the Quattroporte platform. M156, chop it M157. So what does that all translate to? Well, under the hood is a Ferrari-built 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6. In this application, it is making 424 horsepower, which is a great number, and it is backed up by the oh-so-loved ZF-sourced 8-speed automatic gearbox. There's a base version of this car which makes somewhere around 350 or 370 horsepower. I don't really care because that one's not as interesting. This, the Ghibli S, can be had in rear-wheel drive or SQ4 all-wheel drive version, and it is a rear-biased, heavily rear-biased all-wheel drive system. It's a wonderful setup. This is a great platform. This has the Skyhook adaptive suspension system as well. Pop this into its sport mode. The steering feels greater because these are now electrically assisted racks, but they're very nicely tuned. There's great heft and weight to them. I really like the way Maserati tuned this steering wheel. The exhaust opens up to let a bit more noise in, and then if you want, the suspension is separate from the sport mode, so you can have it in normal suspension or stiffen it up to sport. I put the sport button, push that one down so I get the steering I want, the throttle response I want, and a little bit more noise, and I leave the suspension in normal. Because this does have low-profile tires on 21-inch wheels. The brakes themselves hiding behind those wheels are excellent. And then back to the styling on the outside, this is a damn fine-looking machine, and the name commands respect in enthusiasts and non-enthusiasts alike. That is mostly the end of the positive things I have to say about this car, because now I'm going to tell you how much this car costs. A car like this should be expensive. It should be an aspirational machine. You see that Trident, you see the Italian styling, you hear the words Ferrari built engine, you think, oh my, yes, that should be pricey. And then you get in it and you sit in it, and the as-tested price of this car is $104,000. Base price is $87,000. No. Hard no, especially when the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio exists with its 505 horsepower, actually Ferrari-built engine. So this engine in this car is built in Modena by Ferrari technicians. They assemble it. It's the F160 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine. The engine in the Alfa, the 2.9-liter twin-turbocharged V6, is a Ferrari-derived engine. This engine is designed by Maserati, and it's based on a Chrysler Pentastar block. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing. You can make jokes about it. You can say, oh, that's basically the same architecture found in a Dodge Journey, but it's not the entire truth to the story. Maserati upgraded bits. It uses the same turbo system as that found in Ferrari's 2.9-liter and a few other bits, and it is bolted together in Modena. The pieces are made in America and then shipped to Italy. So you have your quibbles there. This is the F-160. I think the engine in the Alfa and like the California and a few other things, I believe that's an F-154 is the code. I'm not 100% on that though. So you're not getting the full Ferrari engine experience with this car. And that's okay, because it's still Maserati designed, and they're a pretty cool company. They make some nice stuff. What they should do though, however, is stuff a V8 in this, or offer a V8 version. Make a Ghibli GTS with a twin turbo V8. Now we're talking. And the reason for that is this engine doesn't sound that good. I am not a huge fan of V6 noise with few exceptions. and then you throw turbos into the mix, and I'm even less enamored with the aural activity happening out back. There are few moments of excitement. I'll grab a paddle and see if I can make it do it. Like, there's fleeting moments of like a quick drone that lets you know there's something more going on here, but for the most part, it's just a that's not exciting. That doesn't fill me with joy of my Maserati. It doesn't make me excited to go on a pizza run. Well, I'll be happy I'm getting pizza, but I don't feel the joy you would expect. Like when you hop into the Alfa Romeo and you fire that up, you go, oh, today's gonna be an adventure, and for two reasons. One, the car is amazing to drive. Two, you might need to call AAA to get home, but that's neither here nor there in this case. And I think if you fully spec out a Quadrifoglio, you still wind up just under the base price of this car. This car is wearing extra carbon fiber everywhere you look, and it does look good. This car has nicely upgraded seats. It has a full blacked out lighting treatment. It has a few upgraded features that throw that base price quickly higher. Now then, when you start digging in further, you're like, oh, that's the FCA Uconnect infotainment, which is a good system. And at least they changed some of the colors of it, and it works well, but again, it's not special. The window switches down here, they're from a Grand Cherokee. Again, that's fine, but you start to look around, you're like, oh, okay, I see where they piece some of this together. But where you put your hands is nice. There's some nice stitching that you can see, some cross stitching. The seats are comfortable. So there are extra amenities. This gets a Bowers & Wilkins sound system optionally. That is fantastic. It's an optionally available system. So there are upgrades here and there. And then again, this could be showing us the future of the platform for that the next Charger, Challenger, basically the LX cars, the 300, they could ride on something like this. And that would be great because you would have a rear-based platform that has available all-wheel drive that is also heavily rear biased, and driving around, this car drives wonderfully. The only problem is it's only really stirring your soul at 9 and 10/10. Cruising around town, it's not that special. Cruising around town in the Alfa is special. And then on the flip side, the more standard luxury vehicles like Audis and BMWs and Mercedes, those have a different presence. Now, they don't have the curbside, holy crap, that's a Maserati. They do not have that. But in terms of interior tech and luxury treatments, those cars win, especially the current crop of Audis. All of their infotainment system is fantastic, and it's luxury that works to make your daily commute better. This is mostly style with not quite as much substance. The driving dynamics are good. The engine note leaves a lot to be desired. The interior refinement is nice, but there are some parts bin pieces here. And then it's just really that curbside styling that sets this apart. This is the car for non-car enthusiasts, because if you know about cars, you'll go, no, there are better ways for me to spend my money that are gonna make me happy. If you're a non-car enthusiast, or even an enthusiast who thinks they know about cars, but maybe you don't, you buy this because you go, Maserati, and everybody goes, okay, cool. And it does look cool. That's about it.